today. From SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings him out.
It's hard to be frustrated. When you throw for nearly 400 yards, but I know he wanted to break that barrier. I think he got the pain eased a little bit when they named him NFC Offensive Player of the Week, though.
Yeah, when you get the award, you know you had the best week in the conference, you'll let it slide. But, hey, that number well within his range. You know he's got the arm to do it in this one. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Plays like that will really help this offense settle in here on the road.
And when you go on the road, you also have to deal with the fans as well. And when you have those types of runs, that'll settle them back into their seats.
Back to throw, rush. A dump off to Elliott. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And 24 yards the gain there, another first down as well.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Inside give to Elliott. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominant.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are on the board first on the road here in L.A. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
They'll look to throw. And that is going to be caught. And it moves the lead to 8-0. So what do you make of that? You go on the road, you score the opening drive touchdown, opt to go for 2, and all of a sudden they're up 8-zip.
Yeah, this wasn't a decision that they made right here and right now. They made this decision during the week. Hey, if we get the ball and score right away, let's show them that we feel like we're superior. Go for 2 and really put the pressure on them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Now here comes Matthew Stafford leading the Rams offense out there. And just as he did last season when he captured his first and the Rams' second Super Bowl title.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Stafford's pass complete. He's got Kupp. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 39. A good pickup there at 22. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Stafford now to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now it's 2nd and 9. Now Stafford. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Stafford. That's complete to Robinson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Meeting the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. Sean McVay's gamble does not pay off, and the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rush. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys go up by 2 touchdowns. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
They'll try and throw for it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Coming up in prime time here in Week 5, a couple of division rivalries on the docket. Beginning tonight in the AFC North with the Bengals and Ravens from Baltimore at 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Raiders and Chiefs from Arrowhead in the AFC West. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And Akers, he is not going to get there. They mark him short of the first. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out comes CeeDee Lamb and the rest of the Dallas offense. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers...
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them. They get scouting reports. They start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Rush. He'll get this to Elliott. Dodges him at the 50. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a... Cowboy first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give to Elliott running left. And some room to maneuver. The 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead. CD, that's his second touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
Now Rush. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. And one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. 3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Robinson's got it. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. On second down, Elliott. And some room to work. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. So a perfect finish to the half. They get the touchdown on the final play, and 2 more for good measure. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We begin out west. Philadelphia making the trip to the desert to take on Arizona. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front. Devontae Smith, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head east to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Robbie Anderson, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's take the trip across the Atlantic, see what's happening over in London, where it was the host Packers who were able to come away with that victory. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And, I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On first down, Stafford here. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run a draw now with Akers. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for L.A. Fielded just inside the 20. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Here's Rush to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Up the middle, here's Elliott. They find some open field here. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 57 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Throwing here, Rush. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for 2 fails.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 43 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Micah Parsons. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
A give up the middle to Akers. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Stafford. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 23. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. To the air again, Stafford. He finds Robinson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Throwing is Stafford. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Micah Parsons. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
On 2nd and goal, Stafford. That'll be caught by Kupp. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Stafford. And he's got it. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter. You're going. And Gay knocks this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. He's at the 40. 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
To throw is Rush. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. L.A. readies for its next possession. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards, as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw is Stafford. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. A couple of vets, Stafford to Robinson there. 1st down, Rams.
After 4 years each in Jacksonville and Chicago, Allen Robinson made a big jump by joining the reigning champs. Hoping to shake off career lows from last season, get back to being a catch machine. Here's a catch for him there and a 1st down pickup. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Back to throw, Stafford. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause. Here's Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing again is Stafford. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 41. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter. Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff left, Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Bobby Wagner, the all-pro, in on the tackle. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, this from 46. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Dallas, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.